text, the scriptures, everything I mentioned in the Bible should be done. Every law, every rule, everything. And second, to the rule of the people here over their land. Because this land was promised to Abraham, and then to Isaac, and then to Jacob, and then to Joseph, and then to Moses, and then to Joshua, and then to this is our land. It was not promised to Augustus, or to Octavius, or to Tiberius. This is not the land of the Romans. This is our land. Do we agree?
Yep.
Yeah? We should learn from the Maccabees. That's why I put them in the beginning. We should learn from the Maccabees. We should fight against Rome and expel them out of our country because this is our land. Do you agree?
Yes.
If God helped the Maccabees minority to expel the Greek Empire, God with us, Emmanuel, and we should liberate this land from the hands of the Romans. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. You see what happened? People agree.
They can't be Jews.
But Heather came, and I see in her eyes that she's like saying, Ronan, we don't have a chance. We are a small minority, and they are the biggest empire in the world. We're not going to fight Rome, no? We are like the size of Puerto Rico, and they are the United States of America. Do Puerto Rico have a chance? So what happens if all the people agree with your zeal, but they're not agree with your action? So you become a little bit more frustrated. Hey, we all agree that we love God. We all agree that there's only one God. We all agree of the promised land. We all agree that the Maccabees had success before. So why are we not fighting? Because it's not comfortable right now? Because we're afraid? Because we have other... So when you feel that you're right and people do not follow you, you become a little bit more aggressive. And that's why what happened to those zealots, that this group of people, nationalists let's call them, thought, well, if you do not agree with me and we argue, and that's okay when we argue. I give my arguments, you give your arguments. I argue and so on. But what happened to this group? This hatred to not to pay taxes to Rome. So what do you think? What do you think the others did? So what do you mean you're not paying? We need to pay for you. And that argument eventually led that people had more fights. And those zealots were known as like a terrorist group. If you do not argue, if you argue with me and we do not agree, I will take a knife and stab. The zealots became more aggressive. So people were like, well, we agree with them, but I don't want to be with them. I don't want to be with that kind of group. אתה צריך את המקום?
לא, ככה, הכל בסדר.
I like you.
So anyway, what happened eventually is that if we are looking at the zealots at that time, a small group, but very noisy. Okay? Sounds familiar? Yeah. And they make a lot of noise on TV, on CNN, on Fox News, on internet. So people know about them, they maybe agree deep inside, but they don't agree with their actions. And somehow the zealots became a little bit more and more powerful. And in the year 66, remember those 70 years that we just passed? There was a small conflict in Caesarea between neighbors. Jews killed Romans, Romans killed Jews. Eventually, that led to an uprising, a local fighting. Think about, riots in Baltimore. Where were the riots recently? Paris. There are demonstrations right now in Paris. But those street demonstrations led to a rebellion against Rome in Caesarea. And then it was spread all over the country. And guess what? In the year 66, we expelled the Roman army from here. And Ronan said, freedom! Yes, we did it! The Pharisees and the Sadducees said, oy vey, the Romans will come next year. The Zealots were so happy. The next year the Romans did come, and they came here to conquer the land. But guess what? The people here were ready for them, and they fought again, and they won. We expelled the Roman army again. Yes! Freedom! In the year 68, the Romans are coming again. Why they come every year? Usually, armies, very good, armies come on March, because you don't fight in the winter, it's uncomfortable. You start to march on March, and you bring your army and you fight. If you did it until the summertime and you conquer the whole land, that's great. If not, you withdraw, prepare your army in the winter, and start marching again the next year. So in the year 68 they came, they destroyed Galilee, took care of the rebellion over there, they came to Jerusalem, made a siege around Jerusalem, they almost conquered the city, and suddenly they left. So what the Zealots thought? Yes, freedom, God with us, we told you we can do that.
68.
68. So the Pharisees said, well, maybe they're right. And some of the people said, well, maybe we can join them. And others said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And they are burning they owe us money, now they need to. So it became like more conflict between people. Instead of being united in that rebellion, they fought one another. 69, nobody came. By the way, what happened in 68 that the Romans left? That's international politics right now. Nero, the Roman emperor, died. So the generals here, Vespasian, said, forget Jerusalem, let's go back to Rome, because I think that I can be the next emperor. So Vespasian came to Rome, fought against other 3 generals, and eventually he became the emperor of Rome. 69, he was busy in local wars. In 70, he sent his son, Titus. And Titus came to Jerusalem, made a siege around the city, destroyed the city, burned the temple, expelled all the Jews. No rebellion anymore. Agreed?
No.
One little place.
Those zealots said, no. It ain't over until it's over. We still can run away from all the places to a place called Masada that we already took in the year 66. And here we have enough water, we have enough food, we have ammunition. We don't need bathhouse. What the Kamisayim? We don't have a bathhouse. We don't need a bathhouse. We need a mikveh. And we don't need peak palaces. We need a synagogue like this one here. We don't need the water down there in the cisterns. We need to bring it to the top. And we can bring sheep and goats and camels and put it on the top. And we will plant trees even in this barren desert. And we will store in the storerooms a lot of food. And we will wait for the Romans. And guess what? The Romans came. We're going to continue to tell our story on our next stop. Right now, I have only 5 of the mountain. Who cares about a palace? And who cares about bathhouse? Let's use that for a stronghold. Let's build walls. Let's take the water from down there to the top. Let's bring animals. Let's protect. Let's prepare, because the Romans will come. Now, if I'm the Roman emperor at that time, I would say, well, there are 1,000 Jews, zealots, on the top of a mountain in the middle of the desert. Who cares? Huh? But not if they control a stronghold right next to the king's highway. Okay? So, you want to make sure nobody mess with Rome. This is how empires work. Okay? If you hurt me, I'll hurt you twice. Okay?
And then again.
If you dare to have a rebellion against Rome here, that will maybe expand to other places in other provinces. We don't want that. Let's kill it when it's young. Okay? So, Rome decided to bring 10,000 soldiers here. What did they do? They built 8 Roman camps all around Masada. Remember the squares that I told you to look at? Those are 8 Roman camps all around Masada. They built between the 8 Roman camps a wall. Not big, something like this, few rocks. Psychologically, they wanted to tell the people, you are trapped. There's nowhere to go. Then they brought the deputy of the sheriff. Where are you, Daniel? Yes. And he took the speaker, the megaphone, and said, you are surrendered. Move out with your hands up. Okay? But the commander of the zealots said, we're not going out. He said, okay, we are sending troops towards you. So they sent the first soldier. His name was Antonio. Take a look at him. And he's climbing the snake path because that's the only entrance. Okay? Sarah, where are you?
Right here.
You climbed with those clothes, Adidas, Nike, nice backpack. Okay, ready in a very cold weather. Okay? What happened if you dress like Antonio with helmets and shield and spears and javelin and you are hiking in the summer to Masada?
You bake.
Exhausted.
So no.
You bake.
Get halfway.
You're toasted. You're sweating. You almost reach the top. And then
You
Beth
die.
the zealot, she throw a rock at you and you're dead. So then the next morning, the deputy sheriff of the Romans sent another guy, this guy, Roberto. And Roberto climbed the top of the mountain and boom, another rock. So because it's very narrow snake path and not many people can come at once, let's say that if you bring hundreds together in a narrow path, you throw more rocks or fire or arrows and you kill them. So that's not good. So the sheriff said, hey, we have another technique. Let's use this battering ram and destroy the walls of the city. But is that a wall of a city here? It's a mountain.
Yep.
Can I destroy the mountain? No, that works in other places, in Sicily maybe, but not here. The commander, the sheriff said, no problem. We have this, a catapult. We will throw big stones and arrows all the way to the top. Can I throw an arrow or a stone from 1,000 feet below sea level to 100 feet above sea level, that direction, and hit something? Yeah. I like that voice. Not gonna work. The sheriff said, the Roman commander, I have another thing that we tried already in Provence. This. We'll build a tower from wood, and we will send soldiers all the way to the top. Can I build 1,000 feet high tower from wood in the middle of the desert?
No.
No. So everything that the Roman commander learned in school is not efficient here. But he realized, okay, Masada is over there and we are here. And what we need to do is to build a siege ramp. Okay? If this is the top of Masada here, take a look at this. All I need to do is to come here. This is the Dead Sea and this is the other side. So where do I start to build a siege ramp? From the Dead Sea or from this side? The other side. And all I need to do is to put rocks and put rocks and put rocks and rocks and rocks and build next to him a siege ramp. Okay? So I don't have rocks today, so I will use bags. So I will build here a siege ramp and a siege ramp and then a siege ramp. And then what happened? I'm getting closer to the top of Masada. Now you would say, wait a second. It will take a long time. And you will, every time that you put stones next to Masada, the zealots will kill you. No? So what they did is they took 5,000 Jewish slaves that they brought probably from Jerusalem and forced them to build a siege ramp. So now you're the zealot. What are you doing when they build a siege ramp next to you?